Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty. At the edge of the world, fight the mighty horde that bashes and breaks you and brings you to more. He thrust every elf far back on the shelf, high up on the mountain from whence it came. He wiped out your past, God kicked in his chest. He's a friend of humanity, so give him the rest.
I'm on a book right now, starting out on different kinds of minds, because I'm a visual thinker who thinks in photorealistic visual thinking. And I used to think everybody with autism thought is a visual thinker.
From the time she was a child, Temple developed a special bond with animals, realizing that she shares some visual experiences and panic responses with herd animals. Animals saved her, she often says. In turn, she has vastly improved the lives of food animals with her insights into behavior and her innovations in humane livestock handling. What she calls logical thinking has been a revelation to food animal producers.
She was very instrumental in developing the animal handling guidelines for industry that over time became accepted and recognized as the industry Bible for the handling of livestock, no matter what the species.
Jump up suddenly, they would jump back. And then if I just stood here quietly or sat here quietly, they'd gradually come up to me. You know, they can either be kind of in seek mode or in fear mode. If they make a lot of rapid motion, then that tends to scare them. If I stand up, they won't come up as close. If I lay down on the ground, they'll lick you. Animals are attracted to new things. New things are both scary and attractive. Move my foot. 20 years ago, when I designed the center track restrainer system, you know, which was being put in all the large meat packing plants, I got kind of thinking, oh, I've just designed a system that they're killing cattle in the world's largest meat plants. And I was standing on this catwalk looking over this whole big sea of cattle underneath me. I got to thinking, those cattle would have never been born if we hadn't put the bulls and the cows together. Those cattle would have never existed at all. We bred them, we've got to treat them right. Now, beef cattle got the best life. They're living outside. You know, all beef cattle, regardless of whether they go to one of the specialty markets or they go to the regular supermarket, spends at least half its life outside on pasture. I have a saying that wiggling like that. People, you know, why do I have to keep talking about wiggling chains? I've talked about wiggling chains for 35 years. Why do I have to keep talking about them? Because people don't take them out. It's like they don't see it. Cattle always tend to go back to where they came from. So when I bring them into the crowd pen, as they come all around the full 180 degrees, I'm taking advantage of that tendency to go back to where they came from. That's a natural behavior of cattle.
Amazing. She's been an amazing inspiration. I work with horses and people on the spectrum, and she's helped me understand autism more than just about anybody else. Because she sees it through the eyes of animals and kids, and it's just incredible.
Okay, and this goes to Jake.
I noticed a young boy who was autistic. He came up and he was looking at Temple like he was a rock star or a movie
There
star.
really is that attitude right now.
Oh, that's all yours.
Okay.
Temple was always a huge attraction and admired in the autism world. But since the movie, it's just become literally rock star status.
When I was a little kid, I had all the full-blown symptoms of autism. This was 1949. And you know, not much was known about autism. I had no speech, I constantly screamed, but fortunately, I had very good teachers. I had lots of hours of early intervention. My mother hired a nanny who spent hours playing turn-taking games. Me and my sister, we got to teach these little kids turn-taking. Now, the movie does an absolutely fantastic job of showing how my mind works visually, and the sensory problems, and the anxiety.
My name is Temple Grandin. I'm not like other people. I think in pictures, and I connect them. I know my system will work because I've been through it 1,000 times in my head. The cattle won't mind. They don't see any danger. They think they're just getting into another truck. The stairway leads them gently upwards. The floor becomes a conveyor. A rest rises up to meet their chests, so they're comfortably carried. They'll be very calm.
God kicked in his chest. He's a friend of humanity, so give him the rest. That's my epic tale. Our champion prevailed, defeated the villain. Now pour him some ale. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your witcher, a friend of humanity. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your witcher, a friend of humanity.
Got rid of all of the genes that cause autism. You'd be rid of Carl Sagan, you'd be rid of Mozart. Einstein today would be labeled autistic. He had no speech until he was 2 years old. I mean, half of all the people that work these big tech companies have got at least a mild version of Asperger's. If you didn't have a little bit of those Asperger autistic genes, you wouldn't have any computers. I was diagnosed with autism as a young child. I had all of the full-blown autism symptoms, no speech, screaming, just everything. It was definitely fully autistic.
Il y a environ 2000 ans, sous le règne de Cléopâtre, la reine des reines, les Égyptiens parlaient comme ça. Ce langage n'est certes pas facile à comprendre. Vous remarquerez que parfois, les mouvements des lèvres ne correspondent pas exactement aux paroles prononcées.
Après ce prologue aussi intéressant qu'instructif, nous avons l'honneur et l'avantage de vous présenter une grande frasque historique.
Now, my brain is visually indexed. I'm basically totally visual. I mean, everything in my mind works like, a search engine set for the image function, and you type in the keyword and I get pictures. And it comes up in an associational sort of way. And I want you to give me some keywords, and don't give me something common like house or car, because everybody can visualize that. Alfalfa. Well, I saw a field of hay. Now I'm seeing bales of hay over where Mark's horses are. And I go, oops, that's grass hay, that's not alfalfa. Now I'm down at the zoo, and they used to feed alfalfa hay to the antelopes, and Nancy used to complain it was way too rich. But okay, you're wondering how did I get from alfalfa to feeding Sue? Okay, it's associational. There is a logical progression. I've designed handling facilities for all the major meat companies. Half of the cattle in this country, when they go to a meat plant, they're handled in a center track restrainer system that I designed. And my first big breakthrough was when I designed dip fat systems, and they worked really, really well. Like Beef Magazine, all the cattle magazines were there, and one of them called it a work of art. And I was just so happy. People, being autistic, thought it was really weird, but my stuff worked. I started doing my livestock handling class. I also guest lectured on humane slaughter methods, cattle handling, meat quality things, livestock behavior for the veterinary college. And my students in my class actually have to draw drawings. One of the interesting things I have found is that there are some students that absolutely can't draw, that have learning problems, and I can tell by looking at the drawings. Because, okay, instead of just drawing nice half circles that got us all over the place, I just had a student this year in my class. Her drawings were really horrible. I remember asking the student, so what are you seeing? She says, well, I see just waves. And I asked her if she hated driving at night, hated fluorescent lights, yes. Print jiggle on the page, yes. I suggested she go out and try on some different colored sunglasses, and she went out and got some little pink sunglasses, and her economics grade went from a B to an A, because now she could see the charts. Cheap sunglasses, a simple intervention. Nobody knows why they work, but they do. And it's kids flunking out of school that don't need to. That's the thing that's so disgusting. And the only reason I know about this is because of the autism community. One of the big concerns I have right now is getting people on the spectrum into good careers, computer science and stuff like that. As an autistic person, I am what I do more than what I feel. And I get a lot of satisfaction in life. Okay, I designed something and it works. Or I have a student say, well, your course was really helpful to me. Or somebody likes one of my books. They say, well, it helped them with their autistic child, or it helped them to understand their dog. That makes me really happy. That I'm doing something that does something constructive on the ground.
Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty. At the edge of the world, fight the mighty horde that bashes and breaks you and brings you to more. He thrust every elf far back on the shelf, high up on the mountain, from whence it came. He wiped out your past, God kicked in his chest. He's a friend of humanity, so give him the rest. That's my epic tale. Our champion prevailed, defeated the villain. Now pour him some milk. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your witcher, a friend of humanity. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, Toss a coin to your witcher, a friend of humanity. Toss a coin to your witcher, who value plenty, who value plenty. Oh. Toss a coin to your witcher, a friend of humanity.